Good evening, you're tuning into 7Edition. I'm Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan and these are tonight's top stories. Family of 4 killed in crash while 3 drowned in 2 separate incidents. 16 secret society members arrested over kidnapping of businessman. Right, we begin tonight's bulletin with this tragic story in Kota Tinggi, Johor. A family of 4 were killed when the Honda Civic car they were travelling in collided with a lorry which veered into their lane. The victims, a man and his wife, along with their 2 children, died on the spot. The accident took place at about 12:33 past midnight at kilometre 55 off Jalan Kluang, Kota Tinggi. District Police Chief Superintendent Asmon Baja said the victims have been identified as 34-year-old Muhammad Firdaus Januri, his wife 33-year-old Nurlia Osman and their 2 children Muhammad Adli as well as Nur Dalili aged 6 and 4 respectively. He added initial investigation found that the lorry driver had lost control of his vehicle before it collided with the victim's car and another car. The bodies of the 4 family members were sent to the Kota Tinggi hospital for post-mortem, while another driver in a Proton Saga escaped with minor injuries. The 30-year-old driver was remanded to assist with investigation under the Road Transport Act.
Meanwhile, a somber atmosphere enveloped the Kota Tinggi hospital, where friends and family members of the deceased have gathered upon receiving news of the accident.
Arwah sebenarnya arwah Nolia binti Osman sebenarnya telah bekerja di Pejabat Pendidikan Rakan Sejawat mulai 2010. Jadi sebagai pekerja memang beliau seorang yang sangat rajin, sangat cemerlang dan tidak berkira dalam menjalankan tugas.
Asal mula dia bercuti raya Cina 2 hari. Lepas tu hari ini dia nak bertugas. Dia balik malam tadilah.
According to Zainuddin, his son and family were on their way back home to the teachers' quarters in Kota Tinggi. Earlier, they had come to visit him at his home in Kampung Bentung Kluang and had also cleaned up the new house they just bought at the Taman Sri Kluang. Zainuddin said before leaving, Muhammad Firdaus and his family had spent a night with him and a night at their new home.
Now, 1 person was killed and 10 injured when an express bus collided with a tanker lorry on the North-South Expressway near Kuala Kubu Baru in Selangor early today. The deceased was identified as the bus driver who died at the scene. The express bus, which was carrying 30 passengers, was en route from Kedah to Shah Alam when the accident occurred at 4:43 a.m. It was learned that the vehicle rear-ended the latex-laden lorry, which was moving at low speed on the left lane. The body of the bus driver was pinned to his seat and had to be extricated by rescue personnel. The 10 injured passengers, including 1 in serious condition, were sent to the Sungai Buloh Hospital for treatment. The tanker driver was unhurt but was arrested for investigation under the Road Transport Act for reckless driving. It was found that the driver was also wanted for a criminal breach of trust offence. And in Kedah, a family outing turned into tragedy when 3 family members drowned at Sungai Pedu, Kampung Bukit Sena in Kuala Nerang this afternoon. The bodies of 65-year-old Muhammad Ramli Ibrahim and his 2 granddaughters, Nur Safia Hafiza Samsudin and Nur Sariza Hafniza, aged 16 and 14 respectively, were found around 5:30 p.m. In the 1 p.m. incident, the man and the 3 teenage girls were swept away by strong currents while swimming in the river near the Sungai Pedu water pump station. One of the 3 girls, a 16-year-old identified as Hanis, believed to be a friend of the 2 siblings, were rescued by villagers and firemen. After scouring the rivers, rescuers recovered the body of Muhammad Ramli and his 2 granddaughters. Their remains were sent to the Kuala Nerang Hospital for post-mortem. It was learned that the 2 sisters who lived in Kuala Kedah with their mother and another sibling went back to their hometown in Kampung Tanjung last Monday to visit their grandparents for the holidays.
Elsewhere, the body of an 8-year-old girl had been found after she went missing at Tanjung Balau Beach in Desaru, Johor yesterday. The remains of Nurul Ain Sajali were discovered floating some 120 meters from where she was last seen. The search and rescue operation resumed this morning after it was postponed late yesterday afternoon. Her remains were spotted by the public, who alerted the authorities at around 4:15 p.m. Nurul Ain's family, who had camped out at the beach since yesterday, broke into tears upon the discovery of her body. The SK Masai student went to the beach for a picnic with her family and reportedly went missing at around 3 p.m. Her remains were sent to the Kota Tinggi hospital for post-mortem.
Johor police have nabbed 16 secret society members, including one of its leaders, over the recent kidnapping of a local businessman in Gelang Patah. State Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Khalil Kadir Muhammad said all the suspects, including 3 women aged between 21 and 59, were nabbed around Johor Bahru as soon as the victim was released after a ransom of over 1 million ringgit was paid late last month.
Daripada 16 orang suspek ini, kita dapati 5 daripada suspek tersebut adalah ahli kumpulan kongsi gelap Gi Tiong Seng dan Ah Ho yang Ang Ho. Okay. Jadi kumpulan ini kita dapati telah bergiat aktif sejak tahun 2010.
In a January 27th incident, the businessman was jogging with a friend before 2 masked men armed with pistols approached them and took the victim away in a Honda City car with a fake registration number. Investigations by a special investigation team revealed that the suspects had demanded a 1.8 million ringgit ransom for the release of the victim. The ransom money was fully recovered following the arrests. Police believe that unpaid debt was the motive behind the kidnapping. All the suspects were remanded to assist investigation under the Kidnapping Act and Firearms Heavier Penalties Act. The body of a newborn was found in the dumpster at an apartment building in Precinct 18, Putrajaya, early this morning. Remains of the baby girl with her umbilical cord intact were discovered by garbage collectors when they emptied the content of a dumpster into their truck. Putrajaya Police Chief ACP Rosli Hassan said the police received a call from the public regarding the discovery by Alam Flora workers about 9:25 a.m. A police team, including those from the forensic unit, was deployed to the scene. The baby was sent to the Putrajaya Hospital for post-mortem. The case is being investigated under Section 318 of the Penal Code for concealing birth and secretly disposing of it. A clothing trader has been jailed for 26 months by the Kuala Terengganu Magistrates Court for abusing and uttering death threats to his wife, Muhammad Sharil Madros, aged 38, pleaded guilty when both charges were read out to him before Magistrate Abdul Hayy Salim.
For the first charge, Muhammad Sharil was accused of slapping and punching his 38-year-old wife in the head and face and kicked her back, causing bodily injuries. The incident occurred at the couple's home in Gong Badak, Kuala Nerus on February 8th last year. He also threatened to kill the victim with a kitchen knife. The couple had apparently gotten into a heated argument after the victim had asked the accused to send their child to school. The offence under the Penal Code for deliberately causing injury provides a 12-month jail sentence, while the offence under the same code for criminal threats is 14 months imprisonment. The court ordered for the jail sentence on the accused to run consecutively beginning today.
Now, the Kuala Lumpur High Court has granted ex-Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Razak a discharge not amounting to an acquittal over 3 money laundering charges. Justice Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali made the order today after allowing Attorney General Tommy Thomas's application. On January 28th, the former Premier was slapped with 3 additional charges under the Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act. In his submission, the AG said there was an argument on whether there should be a joinder with the other charges. As such, Datuk Seri Najib would be charged over the 3 counts of money laundering before the Sessions Court on a later date. Justice Nazlan also allowed the AG to withdraw his certificate to transfer Datuk Seri Najib's 7 charges in relation to SRC International Sdn Bhd. The charges filed in July and August last year are 3 counts of misconduct, 1 count of abusing his position over SRC International's fund of 42 million ringgit and 3 counts of money laundering. The judge said the 7 charges will be transferred from the Sessions Court to the High Court. The case of children neglecting their aging parents will need to be approached holistically before Malaysia decides on a new legislation that protects the rights and welfare of the elderly. This includes a diagnostic study which will be conducted by the government to develop an integrated and sustainable long-term model for the care of elderly people. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said that the study was necessary to see if there is a need to legislate a new law to complement existing ones in an effort to protect the country's family institutions. Previously, she revealed that Malaysia would pass a new law by 2020 to penalise children who abuse, abandon or neglect their aging parents.
Kalau you buat satu macam menghukum namun tidak menyelesaikan masalah pun salah juga untuk memberikan kita banyak bebanan kepada penjara-penjara. Jadi kita akan membuat satu studi dinamakan kajian diagnostik bagi membentuk model penjagaan warga emas jangka masa panjang yang bersepadu dan mampan di Malaysia. Jadi kita akan buatkan satu undang-undang khusus bagi itu.
Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah, who is also Women, Family and Community Development Minister, also said further discussions on relevant aspects with the main stakeholders would be organised by her ministry, with focus on the new act to be legislated. The stakeholders include representatives from different groups involving senior citizens, families, community members, academics and other relevant government agencies. She said this when asked to comment on a statement by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, P. Wethamurthy, who had urged for the initially proposed act to penalise children who abandon their ageing parents to be studied first before being implemented. The Deputy Premier was met at the opening ceremony of Tasputra, a daycare centre for children with special needs in Putrajaya today.
On another development, Datuk Seri Wan Azizah said that when it comes to product promotions, priority should be given to those produced by ministries and government agencies. She also reminded ministers not to take part in promoting local products manufactured by private companies.
Kita buatkan kerana kementerian, produk kementerian, apakah kita memang adakan memberikan boost lah ataupun support ya, sokongan untuk menengahkan produk-produk daripada kementerian sendiri dan kerajaan. Namun saya rasa YB Syed Saddiq telah memberi jawapan bahawa dia nak nolong. Kita pun juga kita nak nolong, macam saya pun kalau pergi ke luar negeri bawa kraft tangan Malaysia, semua itulah promosi negara kita.
She was commenting on the controversy surrounding Youth and Sports Minister Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman, who was attacked on social media by a local soft drink entrepreneur who had accused the Muar MP of cheating him over a promotion deal.
After the break, delivery man's dedication gets netizens' attention. Details next. Thanks for staying with us. Now it's time for our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Now, recently, a tweet by a woman went viral when she shared how a post-laju delivery man went an extra mile to send a parcel directly to her doorstep, even though the delivery address was at her office, which was closed on that day. The tweet, which was posted on Sunday, raked in over 4.3 thousand likes and over 3.5 thousand retweets. The post-laju staff could have easily marked the parcel delivery as unsuccessful when he noticed that no one was there at the delivery address, but instead, he chose to get in contact with the woman and even agreed to stop by her house to finish the delivery process. On Wednesday, Post Malaysia Berhad responded to the viral thread, thanking the woman for her support. Some netizens of Twitter Jaya also shared their experience of a post laju staff going the extra mile in delivering their packages. However, one replied of how she experienced the complete opposite of the poster's fortunate case. While it is rather inconvenient to cancel a Grab food order at the last minute, especially for the delivery personnel, it can also be considered a waste of food. This delivery guy, however, decided to do some good deeds after getting notified of a cancelled food order he had already purchased. The delivery guy, known as Akai, shared his story on the Grab Food Delivery Rider Singapore Facebook group, which featured a homeless man eating food out of a Grab food delivery bag. In the post, Akai included that, quote, "By doing good, good will come to you," end quote. The post soon received a lot of praise from netizens who commended the delivery man on giving the food to someone in need instead of just returning or disposing of it. Now updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. Moving on, Malaysians have contributed over 202 million ringgit to the Tabung Harapan Malaysia since it was launched on May 30th last year to pay the federal government's debt. The Finance Ministry said it has closed the Tabung Harapan Malaysia account, which will now be audited by the Auditor General's Department.
In a statement, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said the fund was officially closed on January 14th after the Cabinet agreed to extend the deadline for contributions from January 1st. Lim also stressed that any contribution made after January 14th will not be credited into the fund's account and that the money will be returned to the contributors. To ensure the collection will be managed with transparency and integrity, he explained that an account committee chaired by Treasury Secretary General Dato' Ahmad Badri Muhammad Zahir was formed. He added the fund usage will be decided by the committee in accordance with procedures listed in the fund's trust deed. Lim further said that the government expresses its gratitude to all who played a part in helping the government pay off its inherited debt.
Past Secretary General Dato' Taqiyuddin Hassan today reiterated calls made by its other party leaders, welcoming the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC to investigate allegations that it had received a total of 90 million ringgit from UMNO. He also promised full cooperation from the party and assured that all documents would be handed over to the anti-graft body if required.
In a statement today, Dato' Taqiyuddin said that PAS is ready to hand over all the necessary documents to facilitate the probe, including its bank statements, to prove that the allegation is false and purely slander. He also welcomed those with information and had accused the party of such act to come forward so that further investigations can be made. Dato' Taqiyuddin added that he is confident that the MACC is an entity with integrity and would carry out its duty in a responsible as well as professional and transparent manner without fear nor favour. Yesterday, the MACC confirmed it had launched an investigation into a police report claiming PAS had received 90 million ringgit suspected to be from One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB funds, which were channeled to the bank accounts of several party leaders. The probe comes after news portal Sarawak Report published an article in 2016 claiming that UMNO allegedly paid the money to PAS leaders to secure their support.
Meanwhile, the government has been urged to hasten the process of completing the political funding bill, which is already in its final stage at the moment. Political analyst Professor Muhammad Azizuddin Muhammad Sani said this following the serious allegation against PAS involving the unethical buying of support and financial aid from other parties at significant value.
Kes ini perlukan kebijaksanaan pihak berkuasa khususnya SPRM dan polis untuk menangani dan menyiasat sekiranya tuduhan yang yang dibawa itu benar-benar berlaku kan. Dan dalam masa sama saya rasa parti PAS juga perlu perlu berterus terang kepada kepimpinan dan juga keseluruhan ahli-ahli dan penyokong berkenaan isu ini supaya semua pihak faham dan boleh menilainya dengan bijaksana. Jadi dalam masa ini juga saya rasakan inilah masa yang terbaik satu akta berkaitan dengan pembiayaan politik perlu diperkenalkan kerana jelas bahawa terdapat banyak isu-isu yang berkaitan dengan perjalanan dana dan keraguan dari segi dana yang berlegar dalam konteks politik di Malaysia. Jadi saya rasa masa yang terbaiklah kali ini iaitu pihak kerajaan untuk perkenalkan akta pembiayaan politik yang akan memandu atau meregulasi pemberian dana politik pada PRU yang akan datang.